Hi boys and girls, today we're going to be creating a picture of ourselves catching a snowflake on our tongue. So this is going to be a self-portrait, which means it is a drawing of yourself. For this project, you're going to need a piece of paper held vertically up and down, a pencil, and an eraser, a black marker or Sharpie marker. If you have some watercolor markers, Crayola or Mr. Sketch in different shades of blue, that will also work. And some crayons, and then you're also going to need a water cup and a paintbrush, Q-tip, or cotton ball. You will also need a paper towel and a small plastic baggie or some plastic wrap. Now, if you don't have watercolor markers, Crayola or Mr. Sketch, and you only have crayons at home, that is okay. You don't need markers then, and you also will not need the water, the paper towel, paintbrush, or the plastic baggie. So we're going to draw a large circle near the top of our paper. This is going to be the shape for our head. At the top of the circle, I'm going to draw a curved line like a sad face or a half circle for the nose. And then I'm going to erase the line right below that I no longer need. I'm going to draw a large oval near the bottom of that circle. That's going to be our mouth that's open wide, trying to catch a snowflake. Then at the bottom of that oval, I'm going to draw a big curved line like a sad face for the tongue. But I also want the tongue to kind of look like it is hanging out of the mouth a little bit. So then below that, I'm going to draw a shallow curved line attaching both ends of that large curved line. And then I'm going to once again erase the line that I no longer need. Let's add some teeth at the top of the mouth. So I'm just going to draw some lines down, over, and up, vertical lines down, horizontal line across, and then back up to the top of the mouth. I'm going to draw some long wavy lines for my hair. If you have straight hair, you could draw long straight lines. If you have short hair, you could draw short straight lines or short wavy lines. For a boy's haircut, you would draw lines just like these, except much shorter. Next, I'm going to draw a scarf around the neck, so 2 lines down and then a curved line across, similar to how we would make a neck, except the lines are a little further apart, and 2 wavy lines off the bottom right edge of that scarf, and then connect those 2 wavy lines with maybe a upside down V, or you could even just do some lines to show the end of the scarf. Next, let's draw some shoulders. So from the left side of the scarf down to the bottom of the paper, that's going to be our shoulders and arms. And the same thing on the right side, but the right side you might need to start a little bit lower, maybe towards the end of the scarf, depending on where your scarf is laying. Next, we need to draw 2 vertical lines inside that area for our sweater to show our arms. And then you can design your sweater however you choose. Now I'm going to draw a snowflake on my tongue. I'm going to draw a plus sign, a vertical line down, and a horizontal line across, and then an X going through that plus sign. And that's going to make my snowflake. Now I'm going to outline the lines for this snowflake. Now I'm doing this because later on, I'm going to outline this with black marker, and then I'm going to erase my pencil marks inside of that outline for my snowflake. This way, when I color in my tongue red later on, you'll be able to see that white snowflake on the tongue. Here is a larger version of what I just did in case it was a little bit too small for you to see. Once again, to draw a snowflake, I draw a plus sign and then an X going through that plus sign. Now it's time for me to trace. I'm going to first start by tracing the outline of the snowflake on my tongue. Do not trace the actual snowflake lines because you're going to take your eraser and erase those. So it's just the outline of the white snowflake. Now it's time to trace the rest of your drawing. After you're done tracing your teeth, color in around your teeth and around the tongue in the mouth black. You could use the black Sharpie, or you could use a black marker or a black crayon if you choose. Once you're done tracing, make sure to erase all your pencil marks. Now it's time to add some color. I'm going to start with my skin tone for my face, then I'm going to color in my hair, and then I will color in the rest of the drawing. Do not color in the backgrounds of the drawing yet. I almost forgot to add some nostrils. Go ahead and add 2 little circles inside that little bump for the nose and color them in. Those are the nostrils. Now it's time to add a background of some snowflakes. Now you have 2 options for this. You can use a white crayon and then later on create a watercolor paint using your watercolor markers, which are just regular old Crayola markers, Mr. Sketch, or anything that is not a permanent marker. And what you would do is you would take your crayon and you would draw some snowflakes, but press hard when you draw these snowflakes. And you would draw them in the white space around your portrait. And then after you're done drawing all your snowflakes, you are going to start creating the watercolors with those markers. You might be thinking to yourself, I can't see these snowflakes. Well, you can't see them yet, but you will be able to see them shortly. So you're going to take your markers, and on your plastic baggie, you're going to color some color onto that baggie. And I like to use different shades of blue. And then when I'm all done coloring those colors onto my baggie, I'm going to take a water cup with some water, a clean paintbrush. If you don't have a paintbrush, you could use a Q-tip or a cotton ball, and I'm just going to swirl it into those colors, lift up the colors from that baggie, and then paint them onto the paper. And as you can see, those snowflakes appear on your background. When you're painting, make sure you use the tip of your paintbrush and not the metal part of your paintbrush. You always want to paint lightly, like a ballerina would dance on her tippy toes. You happen to put a little bit too much water in one of the areas, you can take a little piece of your paper towel and lay it on that area, and it will soak up the extra water. Now, if you don't have markers at home, or you don't have a paintbrush and you don't have cotton ball or a Q-tip, and you want to do this background in a different way, here is another option. You can draw your snowflakes just like you drew them on your tongue. And then once you're done drawing those snowflakes, you will trace them just like you did on the tongue. You will erase the inside of the snowflakes after you trace. And then you will color in the background around the snowflakes with a blue crayon or whatever background color you want to use. And that is another way that you can make snowflakes in your background if you don't have those markers to create watercolor paints. I hope you enjoyed drawing this portrait of yourself catching a snowflake on your tongue. Don't forget to have fun, be creative, and don't worry if you make a mistake. See you next time.